A hard truth I want you to come to terms with is that you're the reason why you're where you are. It's not because last year was a bad year, or you had a horrible boss, or because of external circumstances. It's because you gave away your power. Because you believe that external circumstances have the ability to determine the success that you can have in your life. There's a theory in psychology called locus of control. There is internal and external locus of control. People with an internal locus of control believe that anything that comes at them are challenges to be overcome. And they tend to be successful, they tend to be resilient because they believe that things that they can overcome on their way to get to where they want to get. People with an external locus of control believe that external circumstances hold the key to their success, whether fate or people. People with an external locus of control, they tend to feel helpless and powerless, and this leads them to stagnate in life because they have given away their power. They believe that the things that come to them are barriers that will lead them to not achieve the life that they want to achieve. And this is something that we do because it might be something that you can overcome, but then you believe that maybe I won't be successful because this and this happened. I won't be financially stable because I've not gotten a job offer. When there are people who start businesses instead, as they wait for a job offer, or even start businesses so that they can stop relying on someone else to dictate the economic state of their lives. It's not a permanent state to have an internal or an external locus of control. These are things that can be changed if you decide to. So let's talk about some of the reasons why you actually developed that locus of control. And I'll start with parents. If you grew up with parents who had financial problems, but you never saw them do anything about it, they never invested, they never started a business, they never did anything to substitute the income that they had. They just waited for something to happen, a miracle to happen. So if you grew up seeing such things, you may have developed that mindset. Through seeing that, you may have thought that you're helpless in terms of finances. So if your job does not give you a certain amount of money, you feel like there's nothing you can do. But then there are people who grew up with parents who had multiple sources of income. They had businesses and they had their job. It shows you that you have power over finances. Another thing is something called learned helplessness. This can happen because, life is life, and life can give you a couple of blows. You've been beaten time and time again. There's a time you decide that, you know what, I'm good down there. I won't even wake up. I won't even try again. I won't fight. I'll give you the example of the elephants that are trained in Thailand. When they're small, they're usually tied to like a stump of a tree or something. And at that point, because they're not very strong, they cannot break free from it. And because they have tried time and time again, they learn that this is not something they can do. So even when they grow up and become adults, and you know how big elephants are, they won't try breaking free from that. And that's how powerful the mind is. Even in the times that we fail, there are lessons to be learned. Let's say you started a business and then you discover that that particular business is not doing well here because it's not really for this market, but it does well somewhere else. And it tanked for that particular reason. You can come up with another business that caters to the market that you have. If you look at it objectively and you remove the shame and you remove the emotions that come with it, you can see some of the things that you did wrong. Or you can see solutions. You can see maybe there's a skill I need to build so that I can come out of this situation. And then you dust yourself off and you start. And maybe you receive a couple of blows again. But then you decide, you know what? I'll still move on because I do not want to be stagnant. I believe you're seeing this video because you do not want to be stagnant anymore. So you have to get up. You have to make a decision to get up. And even if you hit again, you decide to learn from that and do something different. You'll always get the same results if you do the same thing. Like this guy, Thomas Edison, who tried 1,000 times to light a bulb. 1,000 times is a lot. Like, it's so many times. But he did that so that he can light a bulb. But then it shows you that, you know what? You can do this again. If he did it 1,000 times, and maybe you've done it 10 times, wake up, go to the 11th. And if the 11th does not work, the 12th, until you get to where you want. Because if you do not do that, then you'll remain where you are. Not being successful on the first try is not an original experience. It's a universal experience. The only difference between those who actually get to where they want to be is that they did not give up. And so I want you to not give up. Another thing that may be contributing to you leaning on external circumstances may be the fact that you have a low self-esteem. One thing is that you don't believe that you deserve success because you do not think you have value. Another thing is that you don't believe that you have the skills to get there. And this causes you to have a low self-esteem. You wouldn't go to a boxing match if you've never trained. And you just believe that I can win this. It takes actual skill to do that. And by you going for training every single day, by you building that muscle every single day, you're increasing your esteem because you're increasing your skill in being able to do something. When you've actually gotten to the point where you have that skill, you'll be able to go after what you want. And then when you actually fix the issue of valuing and placing worth on yourself, you'll be unstoppable. There's something I want you to do. I want you to create 2 columns and write excuses I made and something I could have done instead. So let's say you did not work on your business because you say you did not have time. But the truth is, you had time, but you spent time on Netflix and TikTok. I could have woken up 30 minutes earlier to work on it. I could have spent 30 minutes past my bedtime to work on it. So do this for every single excuse that you made and continue doing it for the excuses that you're going to make this year until you're at a point where you will no longer accept the excuses you make to yourself, that you'll be catching yourself and saying, no, that's not true. I do have the time, I do have the energy, and I will do it. I hope this video has helped you to get your power back and to learn that you actually have power over your situation. Until next time, bye.